Hey y'all, it's Jeff, and after thousands of jabs and silly jokes, we've reached the finale. Not only that, but it's already March 1st in Japan, so exactly 1 full year since Akira the Goat passed. So let's unwrap the last gift he gave us. Now, if there is one thing about this finale, it raises more questions than it answers. In terms of choreography, I'd say Goku vs Tamagami number 1 might still be the best. The way that fight utilized the field and their bodies was just amazing, but this fight is full of detail. Check the comical way Gomah's face contorts when Goku punches him. Also shots that look three-dimensional like a game. Combinations of different art styles that give these scenes their own identity. Although Goku's only supposed to be a distraction, they do let us savor this. We have gotten nearly all the elements of a classic Dragon Ball fight. Fists, beams, and dash fighting in the air. Gomah's keeping equal footing, and again it begs the question why Abra or anyone would take the eye off if there's just no drawbacks. He's just loaded up with magic seemingly with no consequence. From that magic, I'm over here wondering what his staff will do, but it just turns out to be more beams. I almost wish we had gotten more traditional magic. The bulk of this was just telekinesis. Why not have Gomah like reverse time? Because it's trademarked by Wiz or because Daima's too short for it? Now, this quote-unquote new form's got Goku aggressive, primal even, puffing his chest out, constricting Gomah like a hairy cobra. Speaking of animals, I bigly enjoy all the wild noises Goku makes. Nozawa's Oriya! I'm just excited to hear Sean's cover on my dub rewatch. Other than that, the majority of this fight's dialogueless, just letting the visuals speak. Including the moment Gomah chucks Goku into his rock conjuring. The magic imbued inside got this place looking like a galactic paradise. Plus, it gave the characters shiny forms, neatly swapping out their color schemes. No Daima episode has looked bad, and this one's definitely in the top 5 best. Maybe top 3 if I thought about it, but the second half is pretty relaxed. I was glad to have this fight be just a one-on-one. As Bulma said, it's more Goku style. This episode also creates high expectations within itself, delivering straight cinema before we've even gotten a third way through. Goku's practically here changing the environment, but he's still yet to do anything about the eye. It was tough for me to believe he could win solo since we're still missing what's been talked about since episode 4. That being, of course, a fusion. I mean, people have been speculating on fusions for 4 months. They make such a show of Goku losing the bag with the bugs, and it turned out to be for good. Felt like Toriyama giving us a middle finger, or giving us some subversion, depending on how you look at it. It really doesn't feel like Goku needs a fusion though. Much like the eye, this form doesn't have any drawbacks either, even with Goku going all in the way he does. Incredible imagery of his base form shining out. It's almost like showing this power coming straight from the core. Reminds me how they've overlaid backgrounds in several places during these hype moments. Plus an amazing homage paid to Akira's classic artwork too. The way Goku impaled Gomah with the Kamehameha, he's got that dog in him. He is an adult now, but Kid Goku is definitely still in there. Looks like Gomah's in a whole lot of trouble. They managed to not get gory though, not a speck of blood. Piccolo seizes the opportunity and gets 2 whole strikes in, but the elongated third one gave me a bad feeling. Surely enough, he flopped. Which is unfortunate since I don't think Piccolo's really gotten any big, memorable Daima moments besides his lore drops. It also looks like Gomah even did that by accident the way he's recoiling. The guy needs to conjure himself a helmet. Arenzu starts thinking the book may have answers, which is a great setup. While everyone else is running out of stamina, Gomah's getting stronger. This fight could have been legendary and gone on for days. Crying though that didn't happen since the solution wasn't in the book, but the book itself. In an anticlimactic but satisfying twist, Ku was the hero of the day. Like, Gomah didn't defend at all, plus Light Glorio hitting Degasu with the hat. Really, any item could have done the trick here. Or, in this situation, no item, but it is just a subversion you'd expect from Daima. What also could have been gory was Goryo stepping on the eyeball. It just evaporates though, no veins or anything popping out. Kinda wish Hebus would have put it back on his belt though. So, abrupt celebration time now that Ku saved the day. It's debatable really who did the most work. Goku gave us a good brawl, but Gomah was no worse for wear. At least he did turn out to be a successful distraction for Ku. Once defeated, I got a kick out of how cheeky everyone was being with Shrimpy Gomah, reducing his sentence from 100 years to only 88 since no one died during his short-lived reign. On the plus side, he is getting stored away with Degasu as company. Seals sure come in handy in this series like Boo's magic seal ball. It'll also give these 2 time to make amends. Afterward, Shin suggests Aranzu should be the new king. Interesting since Aranzu wants to create chaos and Shin promotes peace. I'm also skeptical that her team up with them shows this change of heart that Shin seems to see. I mean, realistically, she needed Gomah out of the way too. Regardless, she declines the idea since she did not get the necessary power boost from the Dragon Balls. Guess there is no dormant power in Aranzu for Neva to bring out. His contribution is the reminder that the first one who defeats the Demon King should be their successor, meaning Majin Ku. Ku's outdone Gomah for largest overnight come-up. From Aranzu's errand boy to the Demon Realm King like that. Again, exactly the kind of twist you'd expect from this series. To commemorate, Ku's got himself a cape, likely his own magic doing, but I like to believe it heroically appears on anyone who's appointed king. This new king's made Aranzu his second in command as vice president, and she seems fine with that, no disputes. In fact, there's a lot of time, maybe too much, spent on Ku giving people these concession prices. Majindu's the first one to be crowned a minister, although he should be on security. Marba and Neva become ministers as well as Glorio and King Kadan. I'm pretty sure minister is a nice way to say servant. It does feel a bit rushed the way the only one to object is King Kadan. Even then, he's easily persuaded by Ku, who I'll admit is a smooth talker. This all sort of comes across as a way to give everyone a happy ending. Ku's still taking volunteers, and they leave you to believe Goku's willing. And he is. Willing to go home. It is just so hilariously casual. Hebus is open to it, although I'm not sure he got the job. Maybe he lacks qualifications. Unlike Ku, who does have the qualifications of a leader, he's naturally encouraging. Determined as well to make the demon world what he calls a scary and good place. Which to me could be a dropped hint for Daima Season 2 down the line. As they're heading out, Bulma gets her hands on a ton of Magilite as a gift from Pansy, and Shin gets some cookies he does not want. Parting gifts, man, the journey's really over. Despite that, in fashion, Vegeta's going on about how he could have won back there. Power scale, it raises questions since even SSJ4 didn't make much headway. Of course, other questions like why the form didn't appear in Super, and then does that make Daima canon or not? They just don't address why these transformations never appeared. It's like they want us speculating for the next decade. All we get is a line about how Goku's been training for it. At the end of the day, I feel like these forms were included as fan service and hype marketing methods. That's really all there is to it, although this does make Daima feel less canon than if they did explain the disconnect. Vegeta calling them Super Saiyan bargain sales reinforces that idea to me. Feels like a fun SSJ 4th wall-breaking joke about how these new forms just kept popping up. Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the hilariously new dubbed Ultra Vegeta 1. Neva gets to talking to Dende and Piccolo about if they'd like to stay there with him. Of course, we know that's not the case since they both appear in Super. It almost comes across as loneliness from Neva, but Dende has a solution. Bringing back the evacuated Namekians would give Neva the community he seems to be yearning for. That could also be a plot point in Season 2 along with the newly accessible gate through demon worlds. A lot of opportunities have opened up for demons to invade Earth, which would create that formidable image Aranzu's after. For now, it's back to Earth, and Pansy farewelling for Vegeta is just adorable. Adorable and confusing since if she returned to Earth with them, where was she in Battle of Gods? And that's just one of the questions this epic finale creates. Not to mention, where was Gohan, who didn't even make it into the closing credits? When those credits provide closure to just about every other character, including Gomah and Degasu. It's almost like they're purposely rubbing salt in the wounds. One last Dragon Ball troll. So, Goku getting Glorio's name right was just a flash in the pan. He's trying to get back to that shop for some revive bugs, and I love the detail of Bulma worrying about her complexion in the background. Even the epilogue looks great, the animation's as fluid as a movie. I liked how the shopkeeper recognized they've grown. Felt like seeing an old family member after a while. I don't think Bulma's had problems with bugs before, but apparently she does. Similar to Vegeta though, she's willing to make the sacrifice to defeat evil. In this case, the evil of wrinkles. Her copying every Butte bug for that purpose just tickled me. That's not all they're selling here though, they've also got evil third eyes on discount. This lady's selling Tertian Oculuses over the counter. No mention where she got them and has clearly never seen them in use. Come on, there's nothing more fitting than ending Toriyama's last work than with a gag. Compared to the last episode, this one has some big shoes to fill. Daima episode 19, Betrayal, has a 9.6 on IMDb. That is typed as the highest rated. I would say this one may not reach such high praises. For one, it didn't have the hype of a new form, fusion, or transformation, and secondly, it created a lot of whys. Why are the events of this series never mentioned in Super? Was Gomah not aware of this weakness beforehand? What was the point of including the fusion bugs? Just to throw us off the trail of SSJ4? All that to say, Daima wasn't perfect. It was a love letter. A story that started slow, but always maintained that nostalgic sense of adventure, culminating in some of the most consecutively beautiful episodes we've had in this series. Daima made it clear from the beginning that it would be a low-stakes endeavor, and it was until the end. So I think if one keeps that in mind and can appreciate the action mixed in with the laid-back, Dragon Ball Daima is well worth a watch, especially as the last work we'll ever get from the author himself. So this finale I would give a 10 out of 10, and the series a 9 out of 10. With that, thank you, Akira Toriyama.